Hey everybody. So I was watching this cat on a video the other day showing folks how to put on wrist wraps. And it got me to thinking, well, what if there's some other stuff that folks don't know how to put on? Just simple little things that you wouldn't think about. And I know that through the years, I've made some mistakes in some of the things that I've bought. I put it on it was missized. I didn't know how to measure for it. I didn't quite have it on correctly, like, where to put your belt, at what point do you stop going down with it or coming up with it, how to size for your belt, things like that. Elbow wraps have been giving me fits, and it's all because I didn't size for them correctly. I'll explain. First, we're going to go into these wrist straps. Now look, I use Iron Bull. The reason I use Iron Bull is because I bought Iron Bull, and I thought, well, these look like a pretty good brand to try. I'm not advertising for them. I actually felt like they were pretty good there at first, and I guess for little things like wrist straps and stuff, they're okay. But I have been told that there's much better things out there. I've actually ordered some more elbow straps, some Inzer. Yeah, I believe that's how you say it, Inzer. It's got the 3 straps on them. Had a Facebook buddy recommend those, and when I get those in, I'll go over them too. I appreciate that, by the way. So let's go over these wrist straps. People think wrist braces, wrist straps, whatever. They'll think about wrapping them around the wrist. Giving my wrist support. Not exactly what it's for. It's not exactly how you use it. It is, yes, it's exactly what it's for, but you want to wrap high. Okay? What you don't want is your hand to move. You could really hurt yourself if you have a lot of weight just constantly pressing on that, especially month after month and year after year, and for some of us, decade after decade. You want to keep the transfer of force at its strongest point where your body is able to handle it, straight up and down on the bone, okay? Now, yes, you're going to have a tendency to bend it back. That's understandable, but you want to mitigate this as much as possible. So when you wrap, look, are you going to be the type of person that's going to get caught up in, you don't pull against your thumb that way, you wrap against your thumb that way? I'm not going to get caught up in that, okay? I've done them both ways. It works fine, okay? I promise you, once you get 300 pounds on the bar and you get down there and get down and dirty with it, none of that mess is going to matter. And if you're in a competition, they're going to make you flip that loop off your thumb anyway, because reasons. So here we go. Get it high up on your wrist, not too high, not enough to interfere with your grip. And there you go. See how that's up here, not here? It really helps keep my hand stable and in one spot when I grip the bar, okay? That's how you want to do it. Get what I'm saying? Here, you don't want to get crazy with it. Here, not here, okay? Fair enough. Oh, and on these Iron Bulls, these things is starting to come apart. I ain't had them that much, had them very long, so you might want to think about that. I don't have an issue with their support, but if they fall apart, how long are they going to support? Just saying. Now, on these Iron Bull or any elbow wrap, they're going to be made like this. They're going to have that little flimsy junk right there, to size it, whatever. I recommend you do this. I recommend you find the size that's good for you, just enough where you get your arm in there to your forearm, and get your granny or your wife or whoever's got a sewing machine and stitch that tight right there. It might take a little bit to get it on there, but you're going to be better off, I promise, than having to deal with this flimsy piece of crap. And they're on so many different elbow wraps, it's ridiculous, okay? And I'm going to touch back on these elbow wraps here in a minute, but I want to touch on this thing, this little $19 elbow sleeve from Academy. There's not much elbow support here. I just use it to keep my joints warm, and what little support it gives me. And you see this little strap? You might as well go home, Take a pair of scissors and cut that off. This thing ain't worth a flip. This thing is not pull tight at all, by any means. But because it's got such a flimsy mechanism, that thing will turn sideways, and it ain't worth a flip. Whatever this thing's supposed to do for your forearm, this little strap, it will not do, because when you start moving it and all this kind of stuff, it's going to flip sideways, and it's just a hindrance. You know, so get your pocket knife, cut that thing off. All right? And another reason, why do you got this on if you're going to wear this? That's a good question. I'm glad you asked. Because this little flimsy piece of crap right here, this little flip strap that you got to slide it in between, will cut into your arm if you wrap it. Okay? You're like, well, don't wrap it that way. Wrap it the other way. Nah, it don't work good. It just keeps sliding around your arm as you pull it. I have found that I have to pull against it like that in order to tighten it up, like the loop on a rope, you know? So here we go. And here's another issue with these, and this is the main issue. My forearms are 14 inches at the back, okay? My biceps are 16 inches at the bottom. All right, and that is where your elbow brace, your elbow wrap, whatever, is going to have to go. So when you measure for some, you need to take that, keep that in mind. That's where you need to be measuring at. About 3 inches, pick out the middle of your elbow joint right here. Go 3 inches up, measure. Go 3 inches down and measure. I'll give you roughly the size you need. Now, I didn't see that there were different sizes for elbow wraps on the Iron Bull website or wherever. I went to Amazon or whatever, and I'm sure there's some that are longer than this. If you are my size, please get longer straps, okay? I've actually thought about taking knee wraps and just maybe cutting 6 inches off of them and wrapping them, because that's about the size I need for my arms. This is aggravating. It does not go around but 1.5 wraps at best. Check it out. And you don't want too much tension. You know, I don't want this strap doing my lifting for me. I just want it to keep my joint secure enough to where the pain is not debilitating. That's a different video. So look, there's my deal. I go around, back around where I started, right? Can't even get halfway back around. You get what I mean? And that's not worth a damn for me. I'm not knocking these things. They're just not long enough. Well, I'm going to knock them a little bit because they're starting to stretch out, and you can see right here, they're just starting to wear. I might not go back with these if I had a choice, just telling you. But I've got to pull these things tighter than I would like. Understand that? Watch. I got to pull these things tighter than I would actually like just to get them to go around my arm enough to do any damn good for my elbow. Now look, that's where the Velcro starts. And I'm only getting that much coverage. And it's really not even coming up to here. I'm only covering that much of an area on my elbow. Really? Look at that. Okay. That far? You really, look how wide the sleeve is. You see what I'm saying? Be mindful of that when you order stuff, okay? I'm not gonna beat that horse anymore. But it's irritating because I was born in the 70s and I'm pretty frugal. All right, weight belts. This weight belt is too wide for me. I've touched on this in a video once before, but you'd have to go back pretty far to watch it. But I recommend you do. I need a weight belt about 1 inch narrower. And you think, well, Nick, you look like a pretty big guy. Well, I'm 5'9", and yes, I understand what you're saying. Torso-wise, my torso's kind of long. My legs aren't necessarily short, but they're damn sure not long. So you have some people with short torsos, long legs. You know, they might be 5'9" too. So you have to keep all this in mind. You can't just go by height. You have to look at how much distance is between the bottom part of your rib, where it's going to be hitting this belt, and your waist, okay? And I recommend, if you're going to order offline, do this. Go to your gym. They probably got some belts laying around. Borrow some from people. See how they fit you, okay? If you're take notice between the distance between your ribs and your waist, okay? If your belt is too wide, it's going to bruise the crap out of you right here. Mine puts terrible marks on me all the time. Well, Nick, why don't you go get another belt? Well, mind your business, because I'm cheap. I done told you that, okay? I'm probably going to go get me what's the name of that? I can't remember. They make great belts. They're known for it. Dominion belts. I had a brain fart there. I want to get a Dominion belt. And I'm pretty sure they make some with the quick release. I want to get one of those too. Because let me tell you something. Nothing puts you in panic mode worse than coming out from under a set of heavy squats or heavy deadlifts and you giving it all you got. You can't catch your breath. You got to get this damn belt off of you. And you're fighting with all this right here. You know, pop. That's the way to go. Anyway, you know, because I'm not going to have a team of people running in there to get this off of me like all these professionals. It's just going to be me sucking wind until I get this belt off. All right? Just a little rant there, but it's important. So, go to a store. Go to a sporting goods store. Put them around your waist. All right? You know, bend down with them. Check the width. You know, I recommend you do not get a belt with a wide back. A belt should be the same diameter all the way around. A belt has nothing to do with the support of your back. All a belt is doing is giving your muscles something to push against in order to create more force against the load, okay? It's not a back brace, okay? You need to look up what a lifting belt's for, all right? And if you know what it's for, you'll know how to use it better. Okay? You won't be thinking, oh, this is for my back. It's not. It's got nothing to do with that. And so your abdominal muscles will have something solid to push against so you can generate more force. Okay? So this right here is like a 4-inch belt. I need about a 3-inch belt. Get down in a position, squat with it. Okay? Oh, I'm still working with that hamstring. That 365 the other day really done a number on it. Anyway, working through an injury is hell. Just letting y'all know that. And it's not all cut and dry, and there's some gray areas in it. And anyway, that's for another video. Anyway, find you a belt that suits you. I've never seen anybody go with a 2-inch belt. Usually 3 inches or higher. Men. I imagine there are some women that have the distance between their hips and their ribs. They might actually want to go with a 2.5 inch. But that's up to you need to find what works for you, okay? This video's went on long. If you got any questions about any other piece of equipment, let me know. Check me out on Instagram. If you got any comments, leave them in the section. I try to keep my videos below 10 minutes, but sometimes, you know, if I'm gonna cover a long subject, you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. Y'all have a good one.